Welcome to Digital Ascendancy, a Powerland info podcast series. Here on Digital Ascendancy, we are championing transformative digital solutions. This series of podcasts is all about providing knowledge on IT solutions in an easy-to-understand format.
Morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome with me Zack Dickson. He's the channel leader for Veeam. Morning, Zack.
Hey, Curtis. How are you, sir?
Can't complain. Just working virtually on, looks like, I don't know what planet we're on right now, but floating and trying to take world dominance with you guys.
You bet, man. Good to see you. Happy to be here.
Yeah, great. Crazy times, exciting times obviously happening in the industry. Woke up this morning and saw that you guys acquired a new company. That's exciting times for you guys.
Yeah, let me tell you, man. It's been a really interesting ride here. You know, obviously, with all that's happened in the world and the pandemic, we've had a bit of a curveball this year, but we're very market relevant, and with that, the opportunity to add to our portfolio showed up, and really excited to announce that we've signed an agreement to acquire Kasten, which is the market leader in Kubernetes backup, containerized backup. So as we see our clients moving from physical to virtual to containerized type environments, for a long time there's been a gap in how they're going to protect and secure that transition, and so we're really excited. We think it's going to put us in a position to serve our clients really well through Powerland for many years to come on their hybrid IT journeys.
Yeah, we're excited too. I mean, talking with you earlier, it's a gap that needed to be filled. You hear a lot of people looking at what they're doing around orchestration management and containerization offerings, but again, the gap is around security, backup, disaster recovery. People will see the huge value in containers, but again, they want to make sure they control and manage that data and manage the hybrid strategy around that. So I think you guys are bridging a huge gap in the industry, and I know as a partner, we're super excited to be able to look on how we can take that downstream and bring that value to our customers.
Yeah, and I think it's what you guys do is really unique, and we've been working together, Powerland and Veeam for about 8 years now, almost a decade, right? You guys were one of the first ones to come to market with us in Canada. That's why we have hundreds and hundreds of clients together. And what I think you guys have always done well, and this acquisition is going to be right in that swim lane, is you take the good stuff of kind of best in breed from a vendor perspective, and you put the Powerland spin on it, right? Whether it's services or value add, whether it's managing the infrastructure requirements for your clients. I think this is going to set us up really well together to serve a whole new growing market and a real business problem for our clients that they're going to experience as they go down this transformation. So super excited and really excited to be doing it with you guys into the Canadian market.
Sure. I mean, I've known you probably for, I guess, close to 10 years now. We're just from HP now transitioning over to Veeam. I think it'd be great if you could just maybe give the audience maybe a little background about who Zack Dickson is, other than University of Central Arkansas and a career high 288 average. What else do we need to know about Zack?
Yeah, I mean, that's it, really. That's front page on the resume is a sub 300 batting average.
That's pretty good, though. I have to say, man.
I'll take it. There was some good, strong Division I pitchers down there, but no, that's many moons ago. So right now, I'm leading the partner sales organization for Veeam in Canada, which has been about a 6 or a 9 month run so far. Prior to that, I was leading the channels and the commercial sales division for Hewlett Packard Enterprise in Canada. After about a 7 or 8 year with that team, but really wanted to get involved in the software business. Really saw a huge opportunity with Veeam in particular as we look to the next 3 or 4 years in cloud data management. We're talking about a $31 billion market globally, right? We're talking about SaaS backup, endpoint, application-based backup. There's just more than traditional physical and virtual backup, which is what Veeam is known for and what got us to $1 billion company. This next wave, this Act 2 that we're going to go on, it's really focused on hybrid, really focused on cloud, and really focused on doubling down with our partner community like Powerland. I just think it's going to be a really fun and interesting ride as we go and tackle this next frontier. So that's me. Yeah, it's exciting to be here and glad to still work with Powerland on both sides of the fence.
Yeah, absolutely. We thought it was great opportunity for us to again double down on our partnership and again having the continuity of relationships and trust that we've had with yourself at HP, now transitioning that over to Veeam, is perfect for us. And yeah, when we look at our customer base and again the long partnership we've had with utilizing Veeam with our client base and in our managed services, where we have almost 600 managed service accounts, clients with us, and then what we're doing around Office 365 and educating the customers on why backup is so important in that space. And especially when we see almost a 300% global growth in ransomware attacks, right? And again, we've seen the impact that it does to our customers, whether that's locally, nationally, or globally. The fear and the impact it has to their business. From your perspective, how does Veeam help kind of support customers and address that issue around ransom?
Yeah, I mean, that's really core to our message, right? So we grew up in the backup space, and as the virtualization wave took over, that's really where we went in a very short period of time, from a startup in 2006 to the billion-dollar company that we are today.
Yeah.
Kind of a rare software-only unicorn. And so that was exciting, and we're going to continue to perform really well with Powerland in that space. But what our clients have told us is that there's really complex and new challenges being presented in their hybrid IT environments, right? Whether
Yeah.
it's ransomware, malware, or most commonly what we're talking to clients about is around that O365 space.
Yeah.
So here's a massive adoption wave that's happening, right? We look at pre-COVID, there were Microsoft numbers out there that said they had about 300 million 365 users. They had about 75 million Teams users. And today, fast forward 7 months into the pandemic, there's estimates suggesting that they're twice that, right? So this huge wave of adoption,
Yeah.
it's going to continue. We're looking at some enterprise strategy group data that's suggesting, office productivity is still going to be the number one thing that's going to move to cloud in 2020. They might do some ERP, might see some customers do HRM or even human resources, SaaS type applications, but far and away, office productivity is going to be number one. So what's concerning about that, and what we're talking to a lot of our clients about together, is the necessity to back that data up. So there might be 500 million users on 365 and a couple hundred million on Teams. There's only about 2.5% of them that have adequate protection for things like accidental deletion or malicious insiders or malware, ransomware. So
why is that, Zach? Like, why is it the assumption that people think Office 365 is naturally
Yeah.
backed up?
Yeah, I mean it's common because I think there's a perception that Microsoft is taking care of that, right?
Yeah.
And that's very natural. So a lot of our conversations with clients are centered on ensuring they understand what Microsoft takes care of versus what a backup provider like Veeam can do, and it really centers on what Microsoft calls a shared responsibility matrix. Okay, so Microsoft is absolutely responsible for the uptime of that 365 service,
Yep.
the infrastructure behind it. The role of the customer or the end user is the role of data owner. Okay, so they are responsible for the data, the long-term retention, the protection of that data within the 365 service. And that's something that a lot of clients just don't know. I'll give you a good kind of analogy here. You've parked in a parking garage before, I believe, Curtis. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So when you pull up to a parking garage, what do you have to do before you can enter?
Hit the button, magically open the door.
There you go. So you hit the button and you get a ticket, right? And on the back of that ticket, it has a very sharp warning. It says something like, the parking garage is not responsible for loss or theft
Yeah.
while the car is on premises, right? And so that's very much like what we're talking about with 365. Microsoft will absolutely ensure that you have a parking garage to put your data, to run your application. It's going to have a house over top of it or a roof over top of it. There'll be concrete below it. and they'll ensure that that garage stays there and that car most likely won't leave. But if somebody walks by and cracks a window and pulls out your iPhone, that is not their responsibility. So much like 365, the uptime is going to be there. You've signed an SLA with Microsoft, but if you have a rogue app, or if you have an employee that gets disturbed by something or is leaving the company and does something they shouldn't, absolutely the responsibility of the data owner. So that's been a huge eye opener for a lot of our
Well, that's
clients.
a great analogy, right? I mean, and that's sometimes, again, with the inundation of IT and so many different things happening, and obviously then the pandemic hit, and the one good thing about the pandemic is it forced people to look at change, right? How to make their businesses succeed, but also how to maybe look at IT differently. But they also need to be aware and educated on some of the gaps within it. I mean, that's a perfect way to educate the client around it, right? Going tons of benefit going, to a hybrid or a cloud model and utilizing obviously some of those platforms that they have to offer. But again, be aware of the importance of business continuity, disaster recovery, and all these things. I mean, we all know there was a recent outage, right? What were you set up to be able to keep functioning and run when an outage happens? Even the big guys get hit. We all know this, right? And again, it's all these areas of education and building trust and relationship, with our clients, that whatever tech company you work with and partnership you invest in, making sure that they're looking out of your best interest, which is data, which is we all know is called the new oil, which is how important it is, and also understanding some of the ramifications associated if you don't protect your customer data properly, right? Not only are you impacted from your business functioning, but also the impact from potentially financially, right, with GDPR and stuff like that. So those are all the things that we're looking at addressing and building those credible trust relationships with partners like Veeam, right? I mean, there's specific reasons why we go to market with you guys.
Yeah, and I think part of the reason we've been so successful together in Canada, coast to coast, is a lot of how we try to do business, right? So Veeam, for many years, is built a business around being easy to do business with, right? It's a aggressively priced product in a market that needs it, and we have the ability, and it works. Thank you. And likewise, I think with Powerland, you guys have built an incredible reputation across your customer base of doing the same, right? Having a high velocity to get solutions into clients to drive business outcomes, and again, this 365 opportunity that we see in the market together, and you guys are helping educate clients on. It's truly an education.
Yeah, it is.
It's not just the deletion piece. We've seen some data that says this Microsoft Office application is the number one most targeted application from a cyber threat perspective. They're going to hit a browser maybe 13% of the time. They're going to hit a Java app 5 or 6. Microsoft Office 73% was a study we got from one of the analyst groups suggesting the percentage of application-based attacks are happening there. So again, it's
we see that fear from our side. I mean, I can tell you just from our customer base, we're seeing roughly 3 to 4 ransom attacks a week. I know a couple of the security roundtables that I've been on, and being able to see some of the data coming, they said they saw a 40% decrease in ransom attacks over the summer months, and they said that was because the preparation from the hackers getting ready to hit the new wave of attacks of remote workers, different data being distributed everywhere, and all those things that they know they're coming after the gaps and the holes, right? And again, educating clients that yes, you need a firewall, but I like to call it a door lock, right? Everyone needs a door lock, but I can still kick down your door and get inside your house, right? And that's the same, like you said, around backup, right? Don't take it for granted that just because your data is sitting there that it's protected. You still have to make sure that if you want that iPhone to stay in your car and not have anyone steal it, you have to protect it somehow. That's what Veeam comes to help address.
Yeah, with Powerland. And I'll give you another analogy, right? So I think most of us have either lived or are living in condos or apartments. And if you're a renter and the elevator goes down, naturally that's going to be taken care of by the superintendent, the property management company.
Yeah.
But if you're a renter and you're cooking French fries on your stove and the oil spills over and you start a fire, that's what renter's insurance is for, right? And that's why the message to clients around 365 specifically is making sure they understand their role as a data owner, right? Because if there's a compliance challenge, if there's a legal challenge, if there's a financial challenge, that's not Microsoft's problem.
Yeah.
That's you as a customer. So I think we'll see a massive wave of adoption around backup, along with the adoption of working from home or remote work, fueling that
Yeah.
team and office transformation. So we're really excited
Yeah.
about it and doing it with you
And
guys.
so are we. I mean, definitely. I mean, we definitely value the opportunity to partner with you guys. We also see obviously the huge market opportunity, like you said, just around the stats and the numbers, right? I mean, that's a huge number of getting in front of our customers to educate and partner with Veeam and show them the value that they can get by feeling comfortable that at 24/7 they have the right backup and business continuity. That if disaster strikes, now what? Well, now what is the Veeam answer, right? So we're definitely looking forward to building off the partnership that we've had for over the last 8 years.
Absolutely.
Well, that being said, I think we can wrap up. I definitely appreciate the time that you gave us, and look forward to being able to do this and maybe in person next time. But thanks again for the time and the partnership with Veeam, and look forward to building off another great year with you guys.
Thank you, Curtis. One day in the not so distant future, there'll be a beer between us instead of a PC. But thank you for having me, and congrats to the Powerland team for continued success in really unique selling conditions. So thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe for more videos from Powerland, and remember to hit the notification button to get the latest videos from Powerland when they come out. Follow us on social media at Powerland_CA on Twitter, Powerland Canada on LinkedIn, and Powerland CA on Facebook to hear about the latest and greatest in IT solutions.